This is the story of Vietnam's reunification, and the silent hero who helped shape it from the shadows. Throughout the 20th century, few nations experienced as turbulent and transformative a journey as Vietnam. Once a colonized land, Vietnam endured decades of conflict, against imperial forces, civil division, and foreign intervention, before ultimately achieving national unity. This is the story of Vietnam's long and difficult path toward independence and reunification. It is also the story of remarkable individuals who, in silence and shadow, shaped the course of history, among them, the legendary intelligence agent Phạm Xuân Ẩn. From the early 1940s through the mid-1970s, Vietnam was at the heart of one of the most complex geopolitical struggles of the modern world. After fighting against French colonial rule in the First Indochina War, the country was divided into North and South Vietnam in 1954. For the next 2 decades, the Vietnamese people endured war on an unprecedented scale. The North, led by the communist government in Hanoi, fought to reunify the nation, while the South, backed by the United States and its allies, resisted. On April 30, 1975, history turned a new page. The People's Army of Vietnam entered Saigon, the capital of the South. The event marked the fall of the Republic of Vietnam and the end of a decades-long war. It became known as the Liberation of the South and led to the official reunification of the country. For the Vietnamese, this was more than a military victory, it was a national rebirth. The moment signified not only the end of foreign domination and civil conflict, but also the restoration of national integrity and sovereignty. Among the many contributors to this historical transformation, one figure remains uniquely enigmatic: Phạm Xuân Ẩn. Born in 1927 in Bien Hoa, south of Saigon, Phạm Xuân Ẩn began his political involvement early, joining the Viet Minh resistance against French rule. Later, he was selected by the leadership in the North to study journalism abroad, a perfect cover for espionage work. In the late 1950s, he enrolled in a journalism program in California, USA, where he gained valuable insights into Western media, politics, and culture. After returning to South Vietnam, he worked as a journalist for Reuters and then for Time magazine, one of the most influential American publications of the era. Outwardly, Ẩn was a respected and well-connected reporter. Privately, he was a deep-cover intelligence officer for North Vietnam. His home near Saigon became a secret transmission point for sensitive information, political analysis, military strategies, and intelligence gathered from American officials and South Vietnamese elites. Many of the strategic decisions made by Hanoi were influenced by Ẩn reports. His intelligence was instrumental during critical campaigns such as the Tet Offensive of 1968. What made Phạm Xuân Ẩn extraordinary was his ability to live a double life, earning the trust of foreign journalists and generals, while quietly serving the cause of reunification. After the fall of Saigon, Phạm Xuân Ẩn revealed his true identity. Rather than facing condemnation, many of his American colleagues expressed admiration. They described him as honest, intelligent, and deeply committed to his country, even when they stood on opposite sides of the conflict. In the post-war years, he lived quietly in Ho Chi Minh City. In recognition of his service, the Vietnamese government awarded him the title Hero of the People's Armed Forces and promoted him to the rank of Major General. His life story became the subject of numerous articles and books. Most notably, the American historian Larry Berman wrote Perfect Spy: The Incredible Double Life of Phạm Xuân Ẩn, a detailed biography that portrayed him as one of the most effective and complex spies of the 20th century. In Berman's words, Phạm Xuân Ẩn was a man who lived between truth and deception, loyalty and friendship, war and peace. He died in 2006, leaving behind a legacy of quiet courage and strategic brilliance. Today, Vietnam stands unified and at peace, a nation shaped by endurance, rebuilt with determination, and guided by the memory of its past. The liberation of the South and the reunification of the country are not only historical milestones, but living symbols of the Vietnamese people's will for sovereignty and unity. Figures like Phạm Xuân Ẩn remind us that victory does not come solely from force, but from strategy, loyalty, and silent courage. His life compels us to look deeper, to recognize that history is not only written on battlefields, but also in quiet choices made in the shadows. Thank you for watching. Wars may end, but the lessons remain. Let the past be remembered, not for division, but for the peace it helped to achieve.